Now, as a company, so that the same example goes in different
Different
fields, right?
sectors.
Hotel.
Hotels.
You opened up a hotel 10 years ago. If you want to compete with your competition, you need to reinvest in the upgradation of the hotel. And it's such a dynamic and evolving industry that one wrong thing that goes in a country, tourism or something happened, it impacts tourism and your hotel so much.
Totally.
So you have to be forward thinking in terms of how you want to redesign your hotels. Then, as a fundamental base for your company, like my goal is that I want to be able to make our entire group a AI ready company by 2027, 28.
What does that mean?
That means a very good example. Last 1 week ago, we were having a steering committee meeting, and one of the guys asked the same question like you. And one of my IT team leads gave a beautiful answer.
Yeah.
He said, "You remember 10 years ago?" He was telling my colleague, "Remember 10 years ago, people used to enter the office and used to sign in the registry that they've entered the office, and then during the end of the month, they used to get a slip saying this is your salary thing, and then a check."
And yeah, basis the
Today,
attendance.
today you walk in through, visual
Face ID.
facial recognition. It goes straight away integrated to your HR software, integrated to your time,
Pretty much
integrated to your
automated
performance,
systems and
automated to the performance of the company, incentives to your salaries, everything automatically goes into your digital bank account, which then gets, uh, you know, further fine tuned into different instruments you want to use. All that happens through digitization. So that's an example of digitization. Like that, hundreds of different things at manufacturing, at process level, at people level, at culture level of your day-to-day operating system. Earlier you used to have registry for doing accounts, right? Now you have SAP. So we're using a very sophisticated enterprise software for making sure our efficiency at work is much better maximized. Training people to use that, using that as a platform to grow multiple technological platforms. Tomorrow, what I mean by AI ready company is that the amount of data that we have as a group because of our diversified businesses, from the customer level, from the manufacturing level, from the supply chain level, the amount of data we are able to deploy in our data lake, the information in our funnel, that the technology exists where I can ask, okay, tell me the forecast of YY in this particular locality, and what is my competition doing, what are my customers saying.
everything, all the information comes around.
We're leveraging the AI capabilities that already exists and is evolving to further take our business to the next level. Now, we can't be doing that when 2 years later. So we need to start preparing it now.
So what is the key now? If you're late, you miss even the innovation is of no use. The timing plays a very important role in the
Timing
achieving
is
it.
key for everything. Sometimes when you do things too early also, you're like,
Yes.
what's going on?
You lose the plot.
So you have to, that's where I guess, having the right experts with you, the right professionals with you, who understand the environment, the ecosystem, who understand your company. Like today, if I want to suddenly put up a Salesforce, highly sophisticated sales, app on the mobile phones of all my sales team, it's not viable, it's not practical. But do I want to eventually get there? Yes.
I think when and how you do it matters a lot. You have spoken beautifully to me about how you guys, what is one of the success of CG Global is also the way the planning has been designed. I saw the map in which you had 200 companies, all planned well and designed. So you still believe in that planning part, and are you good at it when it comes to planning your company, your day, everything?
I think the difference between a good leader and a bad leader is the detailing of the plan he does, the delegation by putting the right person at the right place. When you know that this is where you want to be, this is the goal you want to achieve, you have to have that humility that and also put your ego down that if someone else can get you there faster than you can, you must pave the way for them.
Okay.
But that's what a good leader does. Good
You,
leader puts everyone together, shows them the right vision, puts the right person in the right place to help you achieve that together.
Nirvan, you're in a stage and space of the entrepreneur world now. In 2026, we are sitting. There's so many tycoons. There's so many conglomerate head and young leaders. You're called one of the youngest leader. You've been representing on multiple global platforms, the associations and organizations where you're the leader speaking. How insecure or secure do you feel there? Being the younger one, competing or talking to voices on different aspects who are 20 years older to you. Have you ever been in that space? You were MD before 30. So they're voicing yourself when they're experienced voices, as you said, you were in World Economic Forum, you've been there. You've been the selected batch, representing after the failures of nominated several times and getting there. So how does it become for a young leader? The stag of you're a young leader. Is it baggage? Is it easy? You still compete in that space because the space is flooded now. There's so many heads in the world who are now called the young influencers, leaders.
Uh, I have never or will never, or even I don't ever get complexed or have a fear or get overwhelmed in any type of a scenario, right?
With anyone.
With anyone. I get motivated by people who I have recognized are far more successful or far more learned or far more knowledgeable by me. I get overwhelmed
Even
to
if
that.
they're your age and done better than you.
Of course, of course, of course. What is age? Age has nothing to do with that. It's the knowledge you have to respect the people's success or where they've been, the knowledge that they gather, and have that open-mindedness to learn from them. I have always been super excited, which is the opposite end of what what you had asked. When I get into a room of 30 young entrepreneurs, I get super excited because to me that's a platform to learn things, to meet new people, to hear their experiences, to see what's taken them to go and learn from them. That is why I started a podcast.
Yes.
Called my father wrote a book called Making It Big.
Yes.
And to answer your question, the reason I came up with started a podcast called Making It Bigger is people my age, my generation, younger, slightly older, who have done incredible work, who have been relatively successful, probably more successful than I have. I'm trying to learn or let at least people what I have learned try and help other listeners also feel the same way what I do. So what I'm telling you is just not in essence what I am saying. It's in essence the practice, right? Because I've learned so much. I was like, my God, I've learned XYZ from this person. I want thousands of people to learn. How? Through podcast.
So beautiful way to use podcast. It connects me to Nikhil Kamath part. I have to tell you, I used to believe when we do this 10-minute podcast, we used to feel like, what are we doing? I saw Nikhil Kamath do these long podcasts, and then I get to know he's your friend. And you have somewhere been the first one to interview him. So he's never said that he was also podcast.
I don't know the first one, but I did get a chance to get him on that podcast. And Nikhil's again, a self-made guy, visionary. Him and his brother have done, like, they've disrupted a particular industry.
Yeah, they were also highlighted as the youngest billionaire in India, and the achievers, these tags had got around them.
Yeah, but you see, the minute you start getting overwhelmed with these tags, I think you start compromising on a lot of your goals. So I'm sure, I know Nikhil, these tags don't mean anything to him.
Yeah,
they're fine. He takes it as a sign of people.
But now I know how I relate. When his podcast came out, it was more like he wanted to learn. And now I see the source because
it's not the source for sure.
But it had started long back.
I guess
you and him, the kind of banter, I don't know what you might have had with him. I have to open your podcast and see. But the idea somewhere comes around that talking. What about doing the other things? What is the key to balance your life and family life? You're a very, very loving father and a storyteller.
Storyteller. I've written 2 books, if that's what you mean. I love spending time with my kids. I learn so much from them. I was hugging my son last night and telling him, please don't grow up. It's a trap. There's so much to learn from the innocence.
Did he ask you why is it a trap?
I actually asked him, that, do you know what a trap means? And he gave me such a beautiful answer. But anyways, I think, I always give this particular example of a jar. everyone's individually. If you need to define or you need to prioritize on your own what the most important things in life are. For example, let's say my own health. For me, I take that as a stone and I put it right at the bottom.
Yeah.
Spending time with my family or my family's well-being there. My group's growth. My XYZ priorities in life. Holidaying or XYZ goals that I have. So I need to know where I put that in that jar. The bottom one are the most important ones, right?
Okay.
Then you take a bottle of sand and put it on top of the jar, and the sand will go and settle. So as long as you've identified what those stones are, you're set. So I think it'll shift, it'll change over a period of time, but you need to recalibrate your lifestyle and your life accordingly. And I think today I'm pretty content.